So good morning, everyone. Welcome to day 38 of 90 days of meditation and transformation. This morning, I apologize for getting started late. I had turned my phone off last night, which I use as an alarm, and I began to wake up and was past the time that I usually get up. So it's going to be brief. I had considered not sitting for meditation today. And I realized I wanted to, if anybody's listening, I just want to make it clear the focus this week is on non-harming. So from a Buddhist perspective, and I have to speak from this perspective, but there I'm sure it's the same, well, not the same. There are many analogies and similar ideas in other spiritual practices. So basically, it would be the same in a prayer practice and etc. So from a Buddhist perspective, our spiritual life and our life itself is organized around three central themes, in a sense. We have the concentration practices. We have the virtuous practices, and we have the wisdom practices. And they're all ways of awakening the heart, to opening the heart and purifying the heart. Purifying means perfecting. So creating a space in the heart, or not really creating a space, but creating conditions so the natural, spacious, luminous, radiant, wise, equanimous meaning a heart that, as good and bad, praise and blame, loss and gain come in, the heart, we're more identified with who we really are, not the fluctuations. Those things are dependent on conditions. If we identify with them, we will suffer, right? So again, I invite anybody who would like to speak from another tradition. I'm sure it's the same principles. Blessed are the poor in spirit, the Beatitudes. Not the poor in spirit. Forgive me for this. But I'll look into it, and I'm sure there'll be, maybe Sarah, if she's around, would speak to it, or Heather. I would love it. Anyone else who would like to speak to these things. But the point is, when we develop deeper states of concentration, we begin to become more sensitive to ourselves and the world around us. And when we are more sensitive to ourselves and the world around us, we recognize our emotional states much more. Right? So then we begin to really understand, say, how anger works, how hurriedness works, how we understand the conditions which create harmful behaviors. And I feel uncomfortable. So if we're practicing, and I can't wait till we get to the loving kindness meditations, because if we're practicing cultivating an open heart of goodwill and loving kindness, and then we go out into the world and somebody says something unpleasant to us, it disturbs the mind for a minute, but it feels quite different than our other states. So we don't want to kind of get on that bandwagon and start creating say something bad back, or overeat, because we know we can get back to a state of goodwill that's spacious and open, and see for yourself, really, again, no brainer. So the ethics and the non-harming are ways of integrating concentration ethics to allow wisdom a chance to flourish. There's simply guidelines and moments of awakening. So we, rather than losing something, we are beginning to see it in the field of kindness and non-judgment. And those pieces of harm begin to drop away. And as I've said before, we're pointing our compass in that direction. So let's just practice for a minute together. So take an upright. I don't have my my bell here or anything. We'll be just fine. Let's take an upright seated position. And just let the sitting bones settle in. Become aware of the places. Let's become aware of the points of contact between the sitting bones, if you're sitting, and the seat below. Just rest your attention there. Soften everything around that. Find your natural breath. And I invite you to generate a heart of goodwill. So maybe bring to mind somebody that you've known in your past, or perhaps a historical figure, or perhaps a symbol of the divine. Some aspect of unconditional love, unconditional joy that you can connect with. Maybe a best friend, maybe someone that's again moved on, or someone still present, and just seat that person right next to you. And see that person gazing into your eyes, or if it's a non, like amorphic being, just feel the presence of that being all around you. Feel them radiating kindness and care towards you. And just let that enter into your heart. And then just take in these words. My dear friend, Do not be so afraid. I will love you unconditionally. And I care for you, whether good weather comes or bad weather comes. I will protect you from harm and the causes of harm. I will be your friend no matter what comes about. I will be there for you unconditionally. I wish you freedom from suffering. May you be filled with kindness and love. May you be free of illness and the causes of illness and dis-ease. May you wake up to your own inner radiance. May you know a lasting peace and happiness. And then just offering those same wishes out to everyone everywhere. Short, metta, or loving kindness. May all beings everywhere be free of fear. May they be free of suffering and the causes of suffering. May they be free of harm. May they recognize their own radiance. May they know a lasting peace and happiness. Namaste, dear friends. And again, this is really about our inner world and cultivating the wings of concentration, kindness, and insight. And through that, we